Hello weavers and aspiring weavers. I'm Emily of Wild Ginger Hand Weaving, and first of all, welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. In this video, I'd like to introduce you to what's going to be the main focus of my channel in the weeks and months ahead. So what I have here is a collection of mug rug samplers, and I'll be making video tutorials of how to make your own set of samplers a lot like these. I love mug rugs as a project because they give you the opportunity to try out lots of new things and all of their variations in quick succession. As a beginning weaver, and you could still call me a beginner weaver since I've only been at this for about 4.5 years at this point. As a beginning weaver, I just want to try out everything and learn all there is to know, all the different weave structures and what happens if you change this little thing or that in a pattern. But the trouble with weaving as a hobby is that there's a lot of setup and materials involved, which can really slow down the experimentation process. Mug rugs are small though, just about 5 inches square. That means you can rapidly go through a lot of different techniques, and the small size also makes them kind of boredom proof. If you start a new technique that you end up just hating, well, you only have to make it through 5 inches, and then if you really truly decide you hate it, you never have to do it again, but still you have the satisfaction of having completed a whole project in that technique. This gives you the freedom to expand your horizons into techniques that you might not ever try otherwise. In my case, I'm not really much of a tapestry weaver. I personally much prefer loom-controlled weaves, where it's really the threading and the treadling on my multi-shaft floor loom that makes the pattern come out, rather than hand manipulation of the threads. But within such a limited space, I'm much more willing, I find, to try something outside of my ordinary wheelhouse. So some of the patterns in this video series will be techniques like crook broad and overshot, or bound weave on opposites. All of these are things that I am personally very familiar with. I've done many projects in all of these structures and full-size projects as well. But other weave structures, like sumac for example, are things that I'm really not personally very familiar with. This is one of those tapestry techniques that I haven't had all that much experience with myself, but in this context of a sampler, it was a whole lot of fun to figure it out on the go, getting my hands on something new. Mug rugs are also an affordable option for sampling. Weaving is, alas, not a very cheap hobby, but this is one of the most wallet-friendly ways you can go about it. I'm using 8/4 cotton carpet warp to set up the loom, and this project just takes 31 doubled warp ends plus the floating selvages, and each of the mug rugs you see here uses the exact same rose path threading. At 6 ends per inch and only 5 inches wide, I can easily warp the loom from start to finish in under 2 hours. For the weft, all of these samples use worsted weight cotton yarn like Sugar and Cream brand or the equivalent, which you can get in any craft store or even Walmart. And the final bonus of sampling with mug rugs is that you come out of it with a functional and attractive product. You could use this as a coaster in your everyday life. It's not like some samples where you make it and then stash it away in the drawer, never to see it again. So each video in this series will show you a different weave structure, pattern, or technique for that same rose path warp. And using the exact warp for everything is a limiting factor in a way, but it's surprising and really fun, I find, to see how many different results you can get without changing it. So most of the patterns in this set are what's called weft-faced weaves, where the warp ends here only show up at the 2 edges, and for most of the project they are entirely covered up by those multicolored weft threads, which are packed very densely together to cover up the underlying warp. There are a few exceptions to that, so things like overshot over here do have those white threads showing up through the body of the work, and they're actually using that same 8/4 cotton carpet warp for the weft as well, alternating with the colored pattern threads. And there are a few other weave structures as well. Here we've got plain weave, but using the clasped weft technique to get interesting motifs. And here also we have a method where you're taking those weft colors and twisting them together to get different patterns showing up. So there are some things where those warp threads show through, but for the most part, this is going to be all in the theme of weft-faced weaving, which is something that has fascinated me from my very start in this whole weaving experience. I have always loved weft-faced weaves from the very beginning. So I'm really excited to get started. Please like and subscribe to join me on this weaving adventure, and I'll see you in the next video.